I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, a.k.a. Downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, Downtown Nino Brown. Nino, it's been a fantastic first 4 weeks of the college football season. We know there's a lot of casuals out there that don't really consider week 0 a week, that it's 100% a week,
Yes.
whether you like it or not. We were super excited to see the ball that we saw on August 23rd this past season, but this week 3 was special. I was home. I had an idle week, which was cool. Probably my last idle week for the season. So the rest of the season is going to be crazy. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. We already got, you said, week 4 counts. Tell the AP poll that about Iowa State, because they can't seem to get no love even though they're 4-0. But as far as I thought you were going to be on a plane going to like Arizona or something. We talked and you were like, I like to make it to this game. I might go to this game, and then good for you though, taking it off.
Yeah, I had a couple options, but being at home just was nice to watch games on TV again.
I agree. I'm with you 100%. That I threw up in my mouth a little bit when Boston College got blown out at night by Stanford, but that's I guess a topic for another day.
Yeah, I'm sure, and that's the wonderful world of college football, and that's this year's college football. I think we can all sit back and agree and say, this sport is, I don't want to say it's getting close to 100% parity, but I look at the SEC typically year in, year out, for the 14 playoff era and the BCS era, you you had a grand idea of who were going to be the teams. You had 8 teams that you could say, hey, these teams will be the 8 teams competing for a playoff spot. I don't feel that way anymore.
No.
Like, who's the team in the SEC right now? I don't. Is it Vandy? Is it Texas A&M?
Yeah, that's who I believe in right now.
That's who I believe in right now. But that can change just like that. You
know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can be embarrassed and then like,
Right. Your opinion can change about it. So, alrighty, let's get to it, man. After abysmal performances over the weekend by UCLA and Virginia Tech, it's disgusting. I said this on my show, and I also told Moon this. Virginia Tech don't ever have to credential me again. That's fine if that's what they choose to do. But one thing I would never do is hide honesty. It was a disgrace to see them lose the way that they lost to Little Brother, who they play every year at home. This is night game. And I'm saying, man, it's beautiful during the daytime, but at nighttime,
it's different.
To lay the egg that they laid, those fans in Blacksburg, they don't deserve that. They deserve so much better. And I think this program hasn't met. There's a lot of trouble with both of these programs, to be honest with you, but this means that, Deshaun Foster was fired. Of course, Brent Pry was fired, a guy that I've had a lot of interactions with at ACC Media Days over the past 3 times that I've been there. But now players have 30 days to decide whether they're going to forgo the rest of their season and get an additional redshirt year. How you feeling about this, brother? Like, I got a few questions for you. Was, this the right move for both programs, and who are some potential candidates that could fulfill these vacancies?
Oh, with Virginia Tech, I mean, you had to make a move. I mean, we talked about how I feel like Kyron Drones kind of fell off a cliff last year, and maybe that's on Brent Pry. Like, there has been no progression for him, and we talk about all the time, like, we were ready to, usher Mac Brown out the door because there was no adjustment. I don't see Brent Pry and that coaching staff making any adjustment whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the OC and DC had gone by at the end of the season as well, and they just ready to clean house. It was the right move. They needed this. You were going to have kids kind of just, check out. I'm redshirting. I'm sorry. And then the guys that stayed are just going to be playing just to play. You know what I mean? It would have been uglier had you not hit the axe now. Now you got to, figure out what you're going to do. And, you let these kids know, hey, we're about winning football here. We're not just going to, roll this out year after year, game after game. As far as replacements for these two programs, I mean, look, they both had high caliber quarterbacks. So we both thought Nico, we thought this was going to be a change of pace.
And UCLA has broken my heart this year. They really have.
And it was all right. I don't even just say on Nico. I mean, that run game we said was supposed to be, ground and pound. Both of those guys on I mean, the offense and They paid New Mexico money, a $1.8 million, I think, to get trounced, like embarrassed bad at home.
In front of 300 people. Nobody was at the game. Like the view from the blimp was horrible.
I don't know if we'll see him in a head coaching position. As far as UCLA, I got two guys. Oh, I think one of these guys I think is an opportunity for both of these jobs. But the first guy up is Tony White, DC over at Florida State.
Mhm.
I mentioned you in the green room. We're talking a little bit about it. He interviewed for the job. He played linebacker for UCLA. Back when he was in college football. I think they had an interest. He had an interest. Obviously, he went there to go kind of. It would be his first head coaching position. I think he's been defensive coordinator in multiple schools.
Right.
I think it would have been his first head coaching position. So he's ready to dive in. It probably wouldn't have been a bad spot for him. At least he would have had a little more college football experience than what was 1 year running back coach for Deshaun Foster. Before he got the head coaching job there. So I think you discipline somebody, go in there and change the culture. But we also spoke about they have financial issues, which we don't even have answers to how or why, because you've been to that that facility, and it's an elite facility as well.
Right.
Another guy who has kind of ties to UCLA that I like, and he's kind of rattled off a successful record over at Memphis in 45-21, 23-17 in conference play, is Ryan Silverfield. He's a graduate of UCLA. I don't know that would be a step up,
right?
Go from Memphis to UCLA, but the conference is a step up. So that obviously is going to be in play there, because there's more money to move around in the facility, in the school. You start rattling off some wins at a school that's terrible now in the Big Ten, and it's like, whoa, hey, hold on, what happened here? So
right.
I think from the American to the Big, that would be a jump. Another guy that I think has to get some consideration. I know you're a big fan of the gentleman and at Georgia, right? We don't believe he's going to be there past the season. I don't think that Tosh Lupi is going to be in Oregon for much longer. It's going to be very hard for Dan Lanning to retain both of those coordinators, Wilson and Tosh. But
I agree with
comes along with Tosh is he brings an elite recruiting aspect to him. He's an absolute bulldog.
They can keep some of them Cali kids in Cali.
Exactly.
You can't even recruit in your own state. That's
they're getting smoked. They're getting smoked by lower. They're getting smoked by lower end schools, in their own state, which is crazy. So I think there's I don't know if it would be something that he would look at, because I don't know if that's where he wants to go. Maybe that would be a step down for him, but it is, you got to get your feet wet in head coaching business somewhere. So I think this is a guy he would look at. And then there's a guy who, there's rumors that he has ties to a school in 2 years, maybe, if this head coach retires. He's supposedly supposed to retire. But this guy's sitting on a fat bag. So, the school doesn't have to throw him, a fat check. And maybe he's bored for a year or two before he supposedly goes to Iowa, like he's supposed to after Kirk Ferentz, retires. But Pat Fitzgerald,
right?
He 100+ wins while he was at Northwestern. This dude knows how to win on a program that was not very good before he got there. And they were a defensive team, and I think this is what UCLA needs. They need to get back to the roots. They need to get back to that snot-nosed defensive football, right? We all know Pac-12 didn't play good defense, but they produced a couple of good ends and linebackers out of that school for a while now. So I think they need to get back to that, and I think getting a hard-nosed, defensive-minded, DC that's looking for his first head coaching gig is the route to go. Or a guy, like I said, in Pat Fitzgerald, who's gotten. I'm just bored, bro. I have options, but if you need somebody to come in there, why not add that to the resume? Because right now he kind of has that that odd shit went down at Northwestern. He had the lawsuit, so that automatically kind of hangs a gray cloud over a coach. If something goes wrong,
it's messed up.
Is he suing us? You know what I mean? So.
What he and his family had to deal with, and he wasn't even guilty. That's
100%.
It was 100%.
But then he goes here, maybe, and gets a little bit of a happier, clean slate going on, with everything. And gets maybe a win in a season or two before he goes on to a bigger program in the same conference. So I don't know. I think any one of these guys would be a solid, interview for either one of these programs. that obviously, John Gruden is a name that you would talk about. And I think that, and people may laugh, but this guy wants to get back in so bad.
He does.
That I think that he would take that UCLA job because of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Get back into a big conference. You're going to be, on TV all the time, right? Because it's the Big Ten. Why not? And I don't know if he would, have to get that huge contract if necessary. You won't need that bag because, again, this is a guy that's hungry as hell. I know Brian is saying, Brian Hostin in the comments here, but I know we believe he was, kind of wrongfully let go when he was let go. He was the fall guy.
Yeah, he was 100% the fall guy there.
But I don't even know that he's got any buzz since he's been let go.
He is. I mean, he is now. What he's doing at Cal has been impressive. And Justin Wilcox was speaking, talking him up the entire ACC media days. It's kind of crazy to see Mike Bobo go from not having success as offensive coordinator there, Brian Harsin not having success there as a head coach. Now Cal, and you look at the rest of Cal's schedule. Cal can very well end up being an ACC championship, and nobody had that on their ACC bingo card this upcoming year.
They got that Heisman, baby.
Mike Bobo, we actually saw offense from Mike Bobo this week, and that was impressive. So, yeah, I don't think those are bad choices. I guess my question is, who would take this job? That was like, who wants it, and where do you start? Like as the whoever the dean of the school is, do you just absolutely clean house? I want a new AD. I want new people working my payroll. I want new everybody. Find the money. And I think that starts with having a GM with a background in mathematics to figure out where the hell is the money going. How many tickets have we sold per game over the last few years? How much do we have in merchandise sales? What are we doing at the concessions? How do we generate more money? And then also, are you going to be willing to, it's pay for play these days. We see parity. We see teams like USF able to, play, be able to beat teams. Like, how are we going to do that? So I have so many questions about UCLA. I think Virginia Tech is probably a little easier of a pathway to figure out, even though they have had some financial issues. But I think if you get a while higher, the boosters and the donors will be willing to spend the money. The UCLA thing, there's a lot that needs to be figured out.
Can I throw a curveball at you? It's not really a curveball, but something that's going to cannonball all this shit because we're talking about a dude to come in there and change things. Before we came on, because D-Now made a comment in the chat, and I'm like, you know what? I've seen a little bit before. Let me dive in a little bit. I've heard and read that they told Michael Vick that he had to get some coaching experience before they would hire him. They wanted him. He wanted it, but they said he had to have experience. So I would not be shocked nor surprised after 1 year, at Norfolk State, that he doesn't go and become the head coach of Virginia Tech next year, because that's the wow, that's the boosters. There's your money, there's your ticket sales, but you might win 3 games.
We are both Michael Vick fans, 100% through and through. I don't even know how to say this any other way, to be honest. That would be a terrible hire, bro. You don't get that experience after 1 year. Look at what Eddie George is doing now at Bowling Green. He got that because he put the work in. He put the time in. He understood the nuances of coaching football at this level. And now you're seeing the fruits of his labor now. And even to get that job, he still needed, if Urban Meyer didn't say, "Hey,"
he wouldn't have got that.
He wouldn't have got that. He wouldn't have got that job. Yes, it will bring money 100%. It'll be great for the program, but would they win? What positions would he be able to recruit? I just don't see it, and I wish I could see it. I just don't. I don't see it.
He probably would be able to get some 4-star recruits in there at the quarterback.
Yeah, he would be able to.
And I'm assuming you might get some guys on, some offensive skill players,
right?
But now you have to connections you made, guys you've played with over the years. You got to find a defensive guy. Like Dion is a DB coach, like he was a guy, right? But he had to go and get guys like Warren Sapp,
right,
to do the defensive line because that wasn't his thing.
Right.
The run game was anemic. It's getting better. What do you have to do? You have to go get a guy like Marshall Falk because it wasn't
right.
It wasn't working. I don't think it would be a good idea at all.
Not right now. Maybe down the road, let him get more experience. That would just be bad because somebody you love. If let's say he goes there, wins 3 games, 4 games a year, the next 3 or 4 years, now you remember Michael Vick, the head coach, not Michael Vick, the player.
Here's
And,
my other thing, though. Does that prohibit a coach coming in there for the first time to become a head coach, like say, Tony White or a Tosh Lupio, knowing, hey, if I don't win, I'm not bowl eligible in year 1 here or year 2. Is Michael Vick the instant remedy because you know what I mean? I'm a buyout cheap. See you later. I'm fired. Now they already have a backup plan. I think stuff like that when it comes to elite guys that have played for your program, have changed your program, and all of that. I think when it comes to stuff like that, it's something it can be a gray cloud.
It really can
over a hire.
Right, because some people were like, "Am I looking over my shoulder at year 1?" I think that's an outstanding point. I love what Georgia Tech was able to do. Remember when Brent Key got the interim tag, and then the team played better during the interim tag? They said, "Hey, this guy is Georgia Tech through and through." We know what the inside of his heart is. It bleeds Georgia Tech, and they've been able to get the fruits of their labor because he cares so much, and he's an offensive line guy. He has a niche. What is Michael Vick's niche? What is Deion Sanders, Coach Sanders' niche? What is their area of specialty? Of course, he was an outstanding defensive back, so I'm sure there's stuff that he can teach you at that position. But a lot of times when you look at head coaches, they even lean more offensively or defensively. Like Zach Kelly at FAU, he was always with the quarterbacks at practice. Of course, that's his specialty. But what would his niche be? I don't know, and I would hate it because I'm a huge Michael Vick fan.
I love Prime,
right?
Travis Hunter was already a great defensive back.
Yeah, for sure.
What defensive back has Prime produced?
That they developed. That's
because he couldn't develop Kamani McLean, Billy Napier in Florida did.
Right.
And that's a program that you would think wouldn't develop anybody because they're kind of all over the place right now.
They are. It's heartbreaking.
So, it's hard when you go for that big name hire because of what they did in the past, not what they're doing in the coaching aspect of it. You taking that shot. You're putting all those eggs in one basket, and hopefully it hits. Because if it hits, it can be enormous, right?
For sure. But
if it doesn't hit, it can be astronomical.
I think UCLA has more upside to be rebuilt, both in basketball and football. Great history in basketball. It's a story program, historically speaking, much more than Virginia Tech. Absolutely. But are the resources in UCLA more plentiful than the resources in Virginia Tech? I think Virginia Tech, with the right hire, will be willing to spend more money. And
UCLA has to have more money, though, right? In the program,
I would hope so.
With the money deals and everything else, right?
They're in California. It's not hard to sell LA, bro. Like, how difficult is it to sell LA? So I want to say it, but like, they're not spending. Like, where's the money going? They're not spending money. Like, and you have to spend money in college football. You
ain't on coaches.
Nah, it's not on coaches. But I think Tosh Lupoy will be a wild hire. You remember when people wanted to get rid of him in Eugene? It's funny, those very same people don't really say anything much about it anymore, but they wanted him gone.
I got a question for you. Does your guy get the axe, and does that hurt him in going forward towards getting the head coach job? That will absolutely hurt him. And the same thing's going to happen with Philip Montgomery, because he was just brought in this year to be their offense coordinator after Bowen stuck it up the last few years. But But he will have a job, though. He will have a job tomorrow. He can go back. I agreed 100%.
He can take a sabbatical year being an offensive analyst. He'll get another chance. It's just heartbreaking what happened, but this is the sport. This is what you sign up for. Sometimes that move that look as progressive doesn't seem as progressive. And everything, in my opinion, I felt like the stars were starting to line for UCLA, because we knew there was going to be a host of teams in the Big Ten kind of battling in that middle tier of the Big Ten. But I couldn't imagine this. You couldn't have told me that these two coaches would have been fired this early in the season. But did they deserve it? Absolutely.
Who hits the portal first, Kyron Jones or Nico?
Who wants Nico?
I think Nico gets the skate on this.
You think so?
I think because the offense has been anemic, and it hasn't all been his fault.
No, it hasn't been his fault. I watched the Utah game. I watched him there. The plays he was able to make some plays, but
that defense is bad.
But who wants to deal with his camp?
That's another.
He has an immense amount of talent, but where does he go? Does he go to G5 route?
He could.
Okay. If that's the route that he goes,
because we're
and
looking at guys getting it back. Look at Retzlaff,
right,
bro. He got
you're
paid.
right. You're right. You're right. Like if that's the route he goes, he needs to go somewhere. And I hate using the word humility, but there has to be a lot of humility in this situation. A lot of lessons learned from this instant. If I'm him, I am saving the rest of my, what is this? His junior year? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving the rest of this year. I'm entering the portal.
Or red shirt to
Yeah,
figure out
yeah,
who high
right,
is, whatever it may
right.
be. But I would enter.
I mean, he wouldn't be
I think
able to play
Kyron
this year.
Drones got to do it. I think Kyron
He
Drones
has
has
to.
to do it.
He has to do it. But like where does he go? Could we see him back at Baylor? Because this is Sawyer Robertson last year. Would they even want him?
Cal's
How?
gonna be the quarterback next year.
Oh yeah, yeah. JKS is gone, brother.
He's going back to Eugene. I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's going to be a few teams
There
probably,
is.
Blake Shapen's going to be out, right? This is his last year, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, Blake
Mississippi
Shapen.
State
Well,
got
I mean, I don't
some-
know if Diego Pavia's team.
No, he already said it's capped, dude.
Oh, it
He already
is.
said
Okay,
it's
I'm about
capped.
to
He
say
goes,
that.
said it's his last year. I guess what the thing is, and this was kind of hiccup on 3, dude. They kind of jumping the gun to be first for everything.
Mhm.
They had to. Pete Nakos had to come back in and kind of smooth
Mhm.
it over. The law, Diego's lawyer is opening the whatever is the paperwork or whatever it could be for the 7th year option. Not that Diego Pavia wants
right
any of that, but his attorney has.
I like. Okay, he may play his way into playing on Sundays. To be honest with you, but did you hear what Dabo said about that? It should just be 5 years. I don't care how you chop it. It should just be 5 years.
I'm cool. I think me and Dino been on that train for
right. Yeah, I have been. Yeah, I have been. He said you should just get 5 years. So
speaking of Dabo, hold up, you can't throw Dabo in there, and then just scoot out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch the presser?
I did.
He was
very much a 2023 vibes.
He was crashing out a little bit.
He was 100%.
Like if Clemson don't want me, I'm going to go keep coaching. I'm only 55. Like whoa, bro, whoa. Like everybody wanted to rip Brian Kelly for his presser. And I think Brian Kelly was warranted to kind of get at these people. But nobody wants to say nothing about Dabo.
Dabo's press conference. This is not the first time we've seen this from Dabo, but Dabo is just going to have to. I know his philosophy is to develop players and have that transformational coaching that we like to speak of, but something's going on, and it's not all on him. Gary Riley, with the real Gary Riley, please stand up. K. Klubnik, with the real K. Klubnik, please stand up. Antonio Williams, can you
He's
please
hurt.
be healthy?
He's hurt.
He always knows.
Yeah.
And let's be real. Like,
how about this running back room though? You got a wide receiver turn running back, bro, and none of these kids can eat.
And what's sad is their defense has been playing pretty well, and
they have dogs on that front line.
They do.
It's just dog after dog.
And no, Dabo completely crashed out. Some of that wasn't warranted, but that how most coaches are able to how they always say don't look in the comments. Like if you're gonna work in this profession, don't look in the comments.
He's living in the comments.
Yeah, he's living in the comments. Like you remember the guy called the radio station, and he had to put his he had to put his resume out there.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he's human, bro. He just wanted to let people know, like, hey, I've had a lot of success here. Well, only 3 games in. Do they still have a chance to make the ACC championship? Yes, they still have a chance. It's bleak. It's Memphis bleak.
Yeah.
they have a chance. Oh yeah, it's because there's teams that are no longer afraid.
Have an easier route there and aren't afraid of them. They punch Clemson in the mouth already, and we saw them respond.
Yeah, it's only Clemson, but until proven otherwise, the only teams that have won championships there, the last 15 years have been Pitt, Clemson, and Florida State. Those are the teams. Everybody else,
agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but I think the competition in the town's been a lot better.
Oh, NIL has brought so much parity.
Hello.
It's brought so much parity to the sport, and it's beautiful, man. But yeah, I love that. And I'm glad you didn't let me get away with that Dabo Swinney situation. So, any teams you are concerned for heading into the quarter mark of the season, and are any elite teams mathematically eliminated from playoff contention?
Well, we mentioned Clemson. I think they're mathematically out.
Yeah, yeah,
I think even if they would win
yeah.
ACC, I just don't know if they would win that at Lot Bitch. Do you think that they would win that at Lot Bitch? Like,
No,
but
they're only. Yeah, I'm
we
about to
watched
say.
Miami win it,
Mhm,
and they didn't.
right.
Right, they won the ACC last season, right? And they didn't. Oh
They
no,
won the no. It
no,
was
Clemson won. Yes,
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end,
yeah.
the
Clemson won
very
in the
last
championship.
game.
Yeah, they did.
I
I
just,
was at that game. It was freezing too.
I just don't know if they would. I think they have to win ACC to make it in, and that's why I think the window was so small for them. I think there's
Mhm.
a lot of concerns. They have a lot. They have a lot of big games still down the
They
pipeline that
do.
they have
They
to
do.
play.
At this point, you didn't know. I don't think anybody, even though Georgia Tech is a really good team, and LSU is a really good team, I do have concerns with LSU. I really do.
I'm
Lagway turned the
LSU.
ball up. Yeah, Lagway turned the ball over 5 times, and they got 20 points to show for it. That's a little troubling.
You
And
don't
that's
think?
what they average. That's what they're averaging
I mean, I
every
have
game.
Florida on here.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah,
if
Florida's mathematically eliminated. Oh,
let me
I'm not saying LSU is mathematically eliminated. I'm not saying that by
no,
any
they're
stretch
not
of the
eliminated. They
imagination.
haven't.
Yeah,
They can't be
they haven't even
eliminated.
lost
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was
yeah.
gonna say no.
No, but I'm just saying, I do have concerns for them.
I don't think Florida's mathematically eliminated because if they
Mm,
run a table and teams lose and they
mm,
win the SEC championship
right.
somehow, they can't. But their window is very, very small. But like Lagway, I don't think is healthy. Napier's his coaching calls have been terrible.
Hmm.
But I have here their defense has been a top tier.
They play. They
That
play
front
lights out.
is lights out, and they have DBs that can lock you down. That is the only
They,
positive really for them and Jaden Ball, but I don't think they really know how to use Jaden Ball.
they don't. And the biggest play of the game was that 90-yarder that got called back.
Oh,
I feel like that gave Lagway so much momentum. I think that'd have put them up at the time. What 10-0? That would have put them up
yeah.
if that touchdown had
But I
held.
mean, 1 and 2,
Mhm.
Miami, Texas, and then Texas A&M back to back to back. That's going to
Yeah.
be a rough run. I think that's
Right.
why I think they're eliminated. I know it's one, but South Carolina, I have major concerns because if Lenore Sells is out this week
Mm.
and you lose to Missouri, that's 2 conference losses. With the schedule you have, I don't know you come
They
out of
got
that.
Missouri next.
I'm pretty sure it's that next.
Yikes! I did not know that. Yikes!
Hold on, I don't know if it's this week or the following week, but I'm pretty sure that they have. Let me see, Missouri next. Yeah, they play Missouri. Yep.
Mm.
I'm on Hardy and that
Hello, hello,
Billa have
hello,
been on.
Heisman. Hello, Heisman. Both of them are in contention, but Hardy's on
e-
pace for like 1,800 yards or 20
Yeah, I'm
touchdowns.
on Hardy. We've been talking about that
Yeah,
dude for
you.
a
I
year now.
challenged you
So
in the D
me
now
and
out
Dino have
earlier.
been on that.
Hmm.
So you lose here 2 losses,
They're
and then
done.
you go, hey, ready?
Mm.
Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M. That's what's left on your schedule. Good luck. You can't afford this loss, for lack of a better word. Fuck them
They did.
hard, man. Like, yes, it was. I don't think it was a target. It was barely targeting, if any target. I think it was, accidental targeting. I didn't even know the kid had a concussion until he didn't move. I'm like, oh shit, he's not moving. Yeah,
Right.
he's concussed. Like he's not playing. So he's done. I thought Luke Doty would have been okay. That first drive, like that was a touchdown. And I don't know if that screwed him up, but that catch, but you can't call the whistle there. That was such horse shit. You set everybody in play. They hiked the ball and then you blew the whistle and he caught it wide open. Hobble was going for touchdown. It was a
Right.
totally different ball game.
Yeah,
That
you're not.
screwed
You're not
everything
catching
up
him.
for them. So
Mhm.
yeah, I have major concerns for South Carolina right now. Concerns, frustrations, piss the fuck off. I don't know, but how is an 0-2 team like Notre Dame ranked?
Whew, don't get me started. I went on a crazy tangent yesterday about them being in the top 25. And there's a person that I respect in our community, and Joe Clack, who said they should be a top 25 team.
36 years, bro.
Yes.
It's been
1988.
30 something,
Yeah.
35 plus years since a team that was 0-2 was. How should they be ranked? Why? Because they lost to ranked teams? How does that one ranked
That-
team that makes you worthy of being? I'm confused at how these
Yeah,
votes
this
work.
isn't NFL power rankings. This is college football. This is college football. Notre Dame is a top 25
How?
team.
For what?
Brian, you have never ever had a casual take on here before. How, brother? How are they a top 25 team? Based on what?
They shouldn't be a top 25 team for the fact that they let the top passing quarterback in the country walk.
Yeah.
Steve Angeli is the top passing quarterback in college football. Over 1,000 yards in 3 games. Or is it 4 games? Did they play week 0?
No.
So in 3 games, he had over 1,000 yards. And they let him walk. Dude, last week they contained. Georgia Tech contained their only option. Their only Jeremiah Love. They contained him. And there was no adjustment. Marcus Freeman could not adjust. For all the shit that we give James Franklin, we have to start looking at Marcus Freeman.
We do. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
And they would, I don't want to use the word dog walk, KT, but they were out physical in this game. In a game where Notre Dame in the trenches is known to be more physical than most teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people forget that, but I know a lot of people talked about the holding call on the last play when Marcel Reed threw the touchdown at the end of the game. But a lot of people forget that kick return was called back. There was a kick return right after, what's my guy name? Tyler Buckner bobbled the snap. Yeah. Dude, I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for him. But there was a kick return that was called back. It was an actual holding, but it was called back. And they still were able to drive down the field. Colin Klein. They gonna be able to keep him? All right, let's see what Brian had to say. He said the first 2 games were against who? Miami and Texas A&M. Absolutely. Lost by a point to A&M. Yes. Come on now. Miami is legit. Yes. Notre Dame wasn't dog walk by Miami. Those are very good points, but we reward winning here in college.
Thank you. We reward L's? How you lost?
Right. We can't do that. Are they a good team? Do they have the capabilities of being a good team? Absolutely. But are they more deserving of a top 25 spot than a USC?
No.
Not in my estimation. USC look damn good.
A&M's defense looked like a top 15 defense in the country. They were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave CJ Carr fits.
They did.
Fits. And they were able to contain their number 1 option. And I don't know, but I talk about, the top 5 wide receiver room. I mean, they may have one of the top 5 most explosive offenses in college football right now. Right?
What you did there.
Well, hey, Ryan, we can't play the 1 week the SEC is watered down, but now the SEC is known for quality losses. We can't have our cake and eat it too, my boy. But as hilarious, man. As A&M, I think they got a top 5 more explosive offense, and I think this answers my question of, is Marcel Reed progressing, or is it the wide receivers? I think he's progressing, and the wide receivers are helping him. So,
what? 7 catches, 207 yards, brother.
Come on, this kid's absolute stud, stud, a steal, like absolute steal out of Mississippi State. Like, I would imagine if they had him still.
Whoa. That's scary. I love that pairing, and you were just saying that a week ago how you love that pairing. But yeah, I'm with you on Notre Dame. I believe they're mathematically eliminated with not playing in a conference championship, even though we don't deem it like the way that they deemed it last year with the auto bids. It's just going to be difficult. It's because especially when we're looking at resumes, when we are looking at strength of schedule, and to Brian's point, that will matter in the end. But when we're looking at polling, you're just going off of what you're seeing right now. And right now they're 0-2. Yes, there were 2 losses. There were 2 really good teams. But,
when they lose to Arkansas in 2 weeks, are we still going to count that as a quality loss?
Oh, that's going to be
because that's not even a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think Taylor Green runs wild against them.
That kid is incredible. I can see him being a Senior Bowl stud this year.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Another 2 more teams that I'm on. Michigan. They're not mathematically eliminated. I don't think they should be ranked.
You think they get dog walked this week?
I don't know if they get dog walked, but I think being on the road don't really help them.
All right, without their head coach.
I don't know what he does too much of anyway, but I mean, they got Bubba. They're gonna have Bubba in there right now, right? Isn't homeboy in there?
Oh yeah, yes. I call
him Bubba, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Pugh or whatever his name is.
Boggy Boat, whatever his name
Bo
is. I know
Pugh
you
or
said, yeah,
Poe,
Piff,
whatever.
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about the same person.
How are they first of all, I don't know how they're ranked 21.
Mhm.
Whatever. Okay. I think that Nebraska, Maryland, and even crosstown rival Michigan State, I've more better teams in the Big Ten than them. Okay. And the fact that there are, just, not all, but I'm not saying 3 of the ranked teams out of the 5 or 6 that are in that. I think USC, I think Illinois, and I think Indiana aren't going to slip up to let Michigan get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think it's their year. I think when they chose to ride the freshman, I don't think that they thought it was their year either. They were, all right, it's our experience here. We're going to get his feet wet and we're going to figure it out next year. Not throw it away. They're not just, laying down for anybody.
For sure.
But I do not think Maryland's undefeated. And I think with a freshman quarterback, the way he is playing, I think he's playing a little bit better than Underwood. Now, I'm not saying that Underwood isn't the better talent, but Malik Washington's balling, bro. Yeah. We talked about how they misranked things, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
I can't wait to see this re-ranking, brother.
I think Michigan, I think the window is really, really closing really, really fast. And then the last team, I know they're not ranked, and I know that they could get hot. Arizona State. I think that they're kind of done. And I know that they can still win the Big 12.
Yeah, they can.
But Iowa State being 4-0, with Utah hot and kind of flexing.
It's a showdown.
In the power rankings. Texas Tech is here, folks.
Yeah.
Barrymore is healthy, and he is cooking. I think I said it in the chat. Barrymore is my Tyler Shuck this year. I think he's going to cook.
I like that.
I think he's going to hit the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, whatever one it is, and he's going to just ball out. That kid has it. I've been waiting for him to be healthy. He is healthy, and we're seeing him cook. So like those 3 ranked teams, and I honestly believe that Houston, TCU, and BYU were all better.
Overall, that conference is going to be interesting.
Sammy Levitt took a step back, right? But I do think he's going to figure it out. He was better this week. We saw that one game wasn't 100 yards, but I don't know if the whole program kind of flexed a little bit too much. And I feel like the only person that saw it coming was Dillingham. And now he's trying.
I told you first.
Yeah, no, he's trying to right the ship as we speak. But yeah, I think Arizona State's window's closed. It's still propped up, like pick, but it's closing real quick.
Because there's going to be some cannibalization here at some point.
But yeah,
man, just got some breaking news, hot off the press from the ACC. I'm sorry, from the SEC. Florida football assistant coach Jabbar Jalouk suspended for 3 games.
For what?
Conduct during the pregame altercation reflects behavior that is unacceptable and not allowed of the standards of the SEC, said Greg Sankey. Coaches are expected to be leaders and to de-escalate these moments. Yeah, there were some.
I was fighting on the sideline before the game.
There were. So yeah, that's hot off the press. I just got that 7 minutes ago.
Boom. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's incredible.
Let's start talking some QBs here.
All right. This is heartbreaking. We gotta talk about it though. The 2023 quarterback class was supposed to have a myriad of talent, and some even thought that there will be some generational talent with this class, and that has not been the case. Why has this happened? Who's been the biggest disappointment? And I believe that we're going to get a re-ranking by Nino. So let's talk about it, brother.
First of all, why? It's because reasons that I believe me and Dino have talked about for a while is I don't, scouting the big schools and not always scouting the little schools. Because some of these guys that, I'm going to talk about that I have in my top 10 were, 30 or 25 or below. And now I got them in the top 10. Well, the other thing I wanted to talk about in this class, KT, is a lot of these kids in the top 10, multiple school quarterbacks.
That's a great point.
All right, Arch has been there. Arch was 1, and Arch has been at Texas, the whole time. Just under 62%, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. Nico, we're on school 2 here.
Right.
He does have, close to 600 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. pretty accurate through all the games that were pretty shitty, but 64%, 3,500 yards, 24-8 touchdown interception ratio. Really not that bad for a guy that we kind of, just, put on castrate this dude and rip him apart. Dante Moore, 2-school kid, UCLA and Oregon twice.
He was misused. He was misused at UCLA.
Anybody that went to UCLA in the last 3 years.
100%
misuse. But he's been, 60% completion, 2,300 yards, 18-10 touchdown interception ratio. Jackson Arnold, 2-school guy, another guy, pretty accurate, 65%, 2,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. Doesn't seem like it was like that, right? Like, it's just crazy because all we have is last year's image, but we kind of forget about the year before and what he did at Oklahoma. But that's how it is in college football. It's what have you done for me now? Another guy that's close to 800 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. Malachi Nyson, 3 schools, under 1,000
I did not see that coming when he was coming out of high school.
Yeah, he's got a 5-4 touchdown interception ratio. Jaden Rashada, 3 schools.
I feel for the kids still, man.
Backing up Connor Williams now at Sac State. Hasn't thrown touchdown in 3 games that he's played in. His completion percentage is under 40% for the season right now.
So he hasn't thrown one since his freshman year at Arizona State.
I mean, he hasn't. He didn't even throw a pass at Georgia. So
wow.
And then Aiden Childs, who's a 2-school kid, Oregon State to Michigan State. Who's made significant improvement. I think this season looks good. He's another guy. Kind of got experience to him. 3,400 yards total. He's got 30 touchdowns total. 12 interceptions career wise. Austin Mack, 2-school kid, really no experience, mop up duty. And then Avery Johnson at 9. He's one of the worst completion percentage kids for the starter, less than 60%. He does have 4,000 yards and 36 touchdowns and close to 1,000 yards on the ground with another 16 touchdowns. But I struggle to see the progression here from year to year. I don't know why this class is so crazy, but I think this class in 2025 is going to kind of be somewhere in the same. You're going to have 1 or 2 that are going to be good, and then you're going to I don't know if Deuce Nice is going to be a dude, right? I just don't know. With the gentleman Street out and USC, I think he is, but we just don't know. So when I look back at this class and I looked at some of the guys that are ranked in the top 10 and outside of the top 10 on production, on talent, and this might ruffle some feathers with people, but I had to put it all together. And you want me to go 1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
You can go 1 to 10 because I'm gonna actually post it, so it'll be a comment in the chat, and then I'll post it so everybody can see it.
I have Norris at 1. Who was the guy who was ranked outside of the top 25 in this class.
That's crazy.
At 2, I have Dante Moore. At 3, I have Devin Dampier. At 4, I have Arch Manning. Okay. 5, I have Avery Johnson. Sam Levitt at 6. Jackson Arnold at 7. Aiden Childs at 8. Austin Simmons at 9. Who was a kid that was in bottom 40. I mean top 40. And then at 10, Eli Holston.
Eli Holston at 10. And then
who was Alabama 9? And then went 9 is Austin Simmons.
Austin Simmons, gotcha.
So that's my top 10 re-rank of the class.
Wow, I like this. This actually it should be an article on the website.
So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm not saying Arch Manning can't end up being the number 1 in his class, but outside of production, talent, and what I've seen so far, this is where I'm at. I think Nico, Malachi. I mean, Nico's the only one really in the top 10 that's not in the top 10. It's just a lot for him. There's too many up and downs. If you take out an 8-game sample, I mean, it's kind of, I don't even know if he would like what we're seeing right now. And I know it's not all his fault, but what we're seeing right now is like, yeah, man, I don't even know
I
He showed.
remember looking back at this class. He was the one that I thought that way.
Me
I never
too.
thought that Arch Manning was, QB1 of this class.
Still don't.
What I seen of Nico, I thought he would be amazing. I thought Tennessee would be a good fit, but I think the thing that makes this entire situation look worse is the success we see Joey Aguilar having.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, it's like, alrighty. So last year they were defensive oriented, running game oriented, but we're seeing, Joey Aguilar stretch the field, bro.
A guy that's not afraid to throw the ball. That's the
Right,
problem.
right.
Is
Yeah.
is Nico struggled with the deep ball to one side of the field in the
Mhm.
first quarter of the season and never recovered from that.
Yeah, it's like he reminds me of I hate to make this comp, but like Tyrod Taylor, because Tyrod Taylor will always have to see the wide receiver open, before he
No
throw it. What
anticipation.
yeah, what one anticipatory throw it at all. And then I see a lot of the same things in Nico where he has to see it open before he throws
Which
it.
which kills his progressions.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Last game, Chris Marshall had 4
Yeah.
receptions for $132. Most of the yards out the contact. That's impressive. But yeah, I love the relist that you did. Like I said, I'm gonna yeah, that needs to be made into an article. That's fantastic. So what else do we have on the dock tonight?
The return. We got.
Oh yeah,
We'll
that's
talk
right.
about it quick.
Early thoughts on the return of Jackson Arnold heading to Norman. How you feeling about this? I know I've had this game circled on my calendar for a while. I think most of May, I just kept saying I can't wait for September 20th. I can't wait for September 20th. Don't care where I'm at, but I couldn't wait for this week. How you feel about this game? Who you think has the advantage coming in early? It's an
I think
interesting game,
Oklahoma
man.
has the advantage coming
Mhm,
in early. I mean, I think they actually have the better quarterback. I'm not gonna,
mhm.
I'm not blind. I'm not Ray Charles to this shit. Like John Matea's playing at a high level, but I do
Uh,
think that they're one when it comes to Matia in the running game. I think
mhm.
they're a one trick pony. They're starting to find it with the freshmen, right?
Right.
But Jaden Knott, Eric Froton, my friend, I will never question you again, because I will tell you something right now. Jaden Ott should go and get a sponsorship, an NIL deal from Tide, because that boy is washed. Washed, my friends. He struggled. He can't get on the field.
Is that what Froton said?
He told me alive on podcast that Jaden Ott was terrible and washed, and he was the worst back at Cal last year. And I thought he was
Wow.
crazy, and I will never question him again.
Wow.
Never question
Froton. That's
him again.
incredible.
But I think, even though they're going to be the underdog here, I think Auburn has saved some spicy packages
Mhm.
in their offense for this game. I think this is going to be the game where you're going to see full Auburn Tigers offense. That defense is good.
Oh yeah,
That
is
defense
really
will
good.
get after.
Mhm.
John Matea's going to take some hits. They are going to hit him early and often,
He's
and
been a
they're
little
going to make
turnover
him
prone
remember him.
too. Mm-hmm.
So I think Auburn has the better wide receivers. No
I
knock
agree
to
with that.
Deion Burks, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Auburn
Burks
has
is real deal, but yeah, I agree with that.
I think they got 3 guys on Auburn that
Mhm.
can go and get down with the get down. But Auburn just needs to keep the main thing.
Right.
That's all they need to do. Don't try to get cute.
Mhm.
Let him be a quarterback. When he wants to run, let him run. Like, because that it seems as though they're starting. First game, I thought, oh man, it's Oklahoma 2.0. They're
Yeah.
just running Jackson Arnold. Just
Mhm.
let him. The second game, I'm like, ooh, he's sitting in the pocket. He's getting comfortable. He's going through some reads, and then he's taking off. He's
Right.
actually like, he's disguising the runs.
Mhm.
He's not just taking. He's sitting. Oh, hey, holding it. He got some delays. I'm like, oh, okay. And he knew when to get down. I'm number 3. I'm sliding, bro. I know what the deal is. He's learning. It seems to be he's progressing. Maybe it's a little bit slower than you might see.
He's playing quality football though. He's not turning the ball over.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's not going to lose them any games, and that's what
No,
we've
no.
seen in the past with Hugh Freeze quarterbacks.
But I think that this is the game where you might see that Gatorade Player of the Year.
Oh yeah.
Jackson. I think he's going. I truly believe Matia might be the better quarterback, but in this game, we're going Ivan Drago, Rocky Balboa. They are
I
going.
love that.
It could be Pat Mahomes, Baker Mayfield 2.0. I'm not
No,
saying 77 or whatever. I'm talking
yeah,
like, but you could get like 42, 48, somewhere like that, where these guys got 350 apiece and
right.
multiple
Whoever
touchdowns.
has the ball last end up winning the
Yeah, I know
game.
they both got good defenses, and Venables is known for his defense.
Mhm.
This one going to be it. This is the game of the week for me.
Do not let 100%. And I'm surprised. And I know they were in Norman last week, but I'm always a little surprised at the choices. Do not let Jackson Arnold win this game, because if you think he's not going to have his Baker Mayfield moment, and
This is what I'm.
he's gonna plant the flag in the middle of that field, bro.
He
I
might even
mean,
grab a junk and dance
right,
around, bro. Like
right,
I'm
man,
telling you,
he's gonna
this
show out.
kid wins this game.
Look out.
The stock, buy whatever stock you
Mhm.
can on this kid, and buy
Right.
whatever stock you can on Auburn,
Yeah.
because that's what they're going. This is it. This is the confidence. Hey,
We may
motherfuckers,
be looking at
it's
another
different right now.
Kenny Pickett jump right before our eyes, and we don't
Nah,
even
Kenny
know it.
Pickett was based on Jordan Addison.
But I mean, I'm talking about as far as the draft, right? Like,
yeah, no,
yeah,
100%.
we might
like,
be if he's able to deliver. Like I said, he's protecting the ball, playing smart ball. One of the most athletic quarterbacks in all of college football. You guys were trying to tell me, you and Boomer's trying to tell me about his running ability. I'm definitely seeing it this year for
he
sure.
could throw the ball. He has an
Mhm.
arm. The
Mhm.
problem is last year at Oklahoma, shit was crazy, and the fact that he was the leading runner on that
Yeah.
team just didn't for like 7 out of the 12 weeks just didn't make sense. He's your quarterback.
Steph Latrell's system struggled last year in Norman.
You had a 5-star in Tatum, right? You had Javonte Barnes. Yeah, he was hurt, but come on, man. Sawchuck
Right.
was there the year before. He had 9 touchdowns. You made the kid transfer because you didn't use the team right. Like, it was just crazy. I know all of their wide receivers were hurt. I get it. They were going to Home Depot and picking up dudes outside, right? Like, I understand that. I get it, right? But
Right.
come on. You know what I mean? Like, figure it the fuck out. This kid's gonna come in. This kid's gonna come in there with the biggest fucking chip on his shoulder, and he might walk out of there with the biggest sack of nuts, dragging that shit out. You might have to put the cart to drag his ball sack out that fucking stadium, bro. It's crazy. He might take a charter jet by himself with that ball bag.
Oh yeah. He going party. He will definitely party in that party in Norman if that's able to happen. I'm super excited to see this game. Like I said, I will be at a game this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how I find ways to look at it. But I can't wait to see it.
If Auburn's front 7
Mhm.
can make them a one-dimensional football team and make them have to pass to run,
Mhm.
they ain't gonna have to play the game of their life.
Right.
Because then Oklahoma's going to have to adjust. We'll have to see it for the first time this year with the new OC and the new QB.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you. You got to knock off and with Ben Arbuckle's air raid, his air raid is more timing oriented than most air raids, to be honest with you. So you're right. They got to knock off the timing. They gotta make John Mateer uncomfortable, which is it's going to be difficult to do because he he can run a rock as well. So I'm sure that Ben Arbuckle's going to try to get him comfortable early with calling his number a few times on some runs. Just to build up that momentum. We know that crowd is going to be raucous. Oh, that crowd's going to be incredible this upcoming weekend. We know that for sure.
Oh, it's going to be deafening.
Man, what you getting into on Thursday, man? I think we got
college. I think we're talking some games, right?
Yeah. Let's talk some games on Thursday, man. Been an incredible show. Dude, I absolutely love this show. I look forward to this show. My Monday was thrown off a little bit.
Yeah,
but you had to hold it down, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, Thursday, let's talk some college football. What games are there on Thursday?
Let me see.
I think there's a really good game on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta look at the schedule.
I had it up. Schedule. First game on Thursday. Rice Charlotte is the first game. That's the only game on Thursday.
That's
Friday.
The only game on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. Friday you have Tulsa, Oklahoma State on an Iowa Rutgers. So Iowa Rutgers game is gonna be something.
Right. So we can preview the Thursday and the Friday game. So great show as always, brother. Always love talking ball with you. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive in advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. Until next time, y'all take care. Shout out to my dog Brian. Brian's always in here. Always
number one fan.
Hey man, we definitely appreciate you,
Brian.
brother.
We gotta get you something.
Yeah,
shoot us in whatever your X handle is or some way to get in touch with you, and we'll get you some kind of merchandise. Something.
Yeah, we gotta do something. Yeah, we gotta do something for my dog Brian.
Well, we appreciate y'all. Until the next time.
Y'all take say I am the governor of college football.